can't see our characters.
Yeah, with you personalized. I don't know why you had to put negative spins on everything. It's okay. I just spend my whole afternoon doing most of the work for everybody. No worries.
Oh my god.
Okay, so last time in our cool sessions here, what happened?
We determined the details of a murder that we kind of as a group committed, and then got in a fight.
I
Failing to do our
falling
job.
off of a building,
Mm-hmm.
breaking my shoulder against a door,
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that was pretty amusing.
Both happened.
pulling
got
a
stuck in a
cult
chimney.
leader out of a chimney,
Yeah.
and that was as useful as Strauss got.
Right. I think Decimus did some flying on his own and almost died for the experience.
Yes.
You guys tracked down the 3 members of the Dead Three on their initiation rite as you are charged by Captain Zaj.
A Nightblade escaped.
Yes.
Yes. One of the 3 did in fact escape and killed quite a few people on their way out, possibly doing what they were supposed to do in the first place. Who knows?
Yeah,
That
we
thing
did.
was supposed to stop.
You got 2 out of 3. So the
Yeah,
entire purpose of the mission was twofold, right?
Vet the tip and try to stop the murder.
She said tip. And then you were supposed to report to Captain Zaj by the next morning, correct?
I believe so, which means
I
that
don't know.
go.
My character wasn't listening because I wasn't listening.
I'm pretty sure we still need to report into him.
Way to go.
Yes.
Sure, we're still in a building full of dead people.
Yeah.
Technically speaking, we are still roadside with 2 bodies and a house full of more dead bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Terry's frozen. Nope, he's back. Maybe he's frozen. He's back.
Okay, it wasn't just me then. I was wondering about that. Okay.
So yeah, there you go. You guys are on a night street in your neighborhood with
It keeps
that was very delayed. You are on the night street with 2 dead bodies. Some of you are inside the house, having broken down the door or opening the door, I forget, with the dead bodies inside that were left behind by the fleeing cultist.
The door is shattered.
The door is shattered.
Yeah, our cleric decided that the simplest way through a door was
smash through?
smash through it.
Yeah,
I like it.
I'm not
simplest.
Yeah,
I'm not
he's not
dealing
wrong.
with locks. I'm not dealing with locks.
No,
It's
and it
easier to
worked.
take my mace through it.
Yeah, like this is my lockpick right here.
What was great was when she did that, and then it didn't open because it was barred from the inside because it got a lock.
Yep.
on the door.
You should have reached through and pulled it up.
Yep.
Okay, so Louis is going to first gonna go over and start inspecting the dead people, but at the same time, he's trying to find somewhere to sit down. His shoulder hurts, his knees hurt. He's probably covered in soot, as is probably Lolo at this point.
Yeah.
Probably.
I also imagine he's not particularly strong, so I imagine when he pulled Lolo down, he didn't catch her. It was just like one.
Yeah, no, you just yanked.
Yeah.
That's how I imagined it, yeah.
All right. So if Scott will allow this, because Davari would like to walk up and start cleaning his face. Only she's going to leave the shape of a penis in the side of his face and soot.
He has no idea this is happening, so yeah.
Okay.
I'm cackling. And then going over to check out the bodies and I guess look around the house for specifically anything about the dead 3 or my cult. So
Louis
cults
is
in
actually
general.
gonna, as you start cackling, be like, you really shouldn't laugh that much. There's a lot of soot in the air right now. I don't think it's good for the lungs.
I appreciate your concern.
I don't know what's so funny. We have a bunch of dead people around.
It's just me. Don't worry about it.
It's dark humor. It's a way to handle the grief.
Yeah, that one. See? Gallows humor.
While we're having this discussion, is anybody? Where's everybody else at? 'Cause I can't
Yeah,
remember.
well-
I literally can't remember who else is in this room, this building with us.
I think Odd, you said you came in. I don't remember though.
I don't know. I'll come in if everybody's going into the room.
I might as well.
I'll
Just out
start
of
looking
curiosity,
around,
is the
looking at the
dick,
dead
like, on my
bodies.
forehead, or is it like on my cheeks?
It's on your cheek with the tip being right near the corner of your mouth.
Like this, it goes this way.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
floppy. I imagine it's floppy.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty simple house. Not a whole lot going on in there. Definitely some poor denizens of the neighborhood. You've got a dead body in the kitchen, dead body in that room that you were in, the main living space, if you will, where the chimney let out, and one in the back room, which there were a bunch of hammocks in place of beds because that's probably cheaper.
Yeah.
How long have they been dead?
Given that the blood is still freshly pooling, very recently.
Oh, that recently, huh?
Yeah, almost as though we were there to see it but couldn't prevent it.
Can we check to see if anyone
Like
can be
someone's
saved?
fat ass just got a little too stuck in the chimney.
I
Didn't
mean,
die inside tonight, get people killed.
rude.
To be
Rude.
fair, like, we all have tails, so it kind of like.
It increases the width of the bottom half. That's what it is. Big prehensile tail.
Very well.
So yeah.
Destin, are you using that lay on hands on yourself or somebody else? Or
On me, yeah.
okay.
That
Somewhere
that
Decimus
heals me
is
up.
touching himself. Yeah, somewhere Decimus is touching himself.
So
I don't remember if
Lulu-
he's still on the roof or what.
Louis gonna sit down and he's gonna look at Lolo and I'm sorry, Becky, I can't remember your character's name.
Davari, I'll change my name.
I'll
Sorry.
change mine too. Sorry.
How dare.
Sorry, I couldn't do that for you guys.
So Decimus is touching himself, and there's a penis on.
On his face, yeah.
It just looks at this real odd, like. It just
Yes.
goes along with
Are
just
you okay?
like.
I'm not gonna be exactly useful if we have to pursue this person. Are you good? Could you chase? I will stay here and I will talk to the police.
Who are you talking to?
You are the police right now, Strauss. Remember, you guys got deputized,
Yeah, Louis knows that. He's
and
helping
you are the
everyone
crew
else
of the
out.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
I will clean up here. I think it might be a better idea if people that are more, I don't know, physically inclined than I am to maybe go pursue this.
I don't think we can pursue him. Pretty sure they got away.
Which way did he go?
That's a defeatist
Can-
attitude, Davari. I want you positive.
Can we determine which way he went? Like by looking around, broken glass in a certain direction, something like that?
Out the window in the back bedroom into an alley, which is actually very narrow.
Well, who's fast? Because I know I'm not. Who's good with the running thing?
Let's look at the person who can fly.
He's unconscious on the roof. Should we go get him?
He's
No,
touching
he's-
himself.
He's
Weird.
fine.
Someone's unconscious?
No,
He was
Decimus
when I
is
last
not
saw him.
unconscious. He's very hurt. But he's
Yeah, not anymore.
All right, Davari is going to go check on Decimus.
Do you need a boost?
Yes, please.
Are you going to go up this chimney?
Shh. That's
Well,
mine.
Decimus will be landing on the ground because he dropped his sword, so he'll be retrieving that.
I don't think we need to get rid of the bodies. We just report it to what's his name.
Yeah, your only task that the intel was all that he was asking you to do, and if you found cultists, kill them.
By the way, that investigation roll is Louis is going to see if he can look around, at least the idea of where the person went. He's not like particularly going to. He doesn't want to leave anybody behind because his knees hurt and his shoulder hurts, and he's proven completely ineffectual in combat so far. So, he
put someone to sleep. That was pretty potent. That was a good time to sleep.
Yeah.
That changed the encounter. I'm just saying. The most dangerous one of the three to your party.
Still, he's And as a player, I realize that as a character, Louis is feeling really down on himself right now.
Oh, if I notice, I'll pat Louis on the back, like, "Hey, man, it's all right."
The falling off the roof and then the door thing was pretty horrible, and his inability to hit anybody with his attack spell was pretty horrible for him.
It's been a rough night. Don't worry about it.
Still, he's going to look around. That investigation is him trying to figure out where, at least like the escape route, because we lost track of this person. I'm trying to blood trails or glass or no one in a hurry really leaves. I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, are you staying in the house for this investigation check, or are you willing to climb out that back window?
I'm willing to climb out that back window, but I want to be within shouting distance of, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get stabbed!"
So, with that roll, and given your night vision, I will say that in the alleyway, you are able to determine, as there is only two directions they could possibly have gone, that the positioning of the broken glass indicates that some was kicked in the direction heading north, which would be left.
Okay.
There's no real blood trails, but glass wouldn't have gone that far in that direction unless it was kicked up or carried as part of a boot.
Okay.
Two steps of running.
After that, I'm going to bring out I'm gonna find some type of paper, make a note of that, and then I am going to also spend some time to try to draw what the person looked like. I need to get to my D&D Beyond if I have any kind of proficiency in this whatsoever.
Illustration.
If there were a character sheet here, I could help you.
Oh my god.
Yes,
character
I'm aware.
No character sheet for it.
Saltiest GM ever.
I don't think I have proficiency on this.
He's so specific about having character sheets.
But
I know, it's so weird. I don't understand why. I mean, he needs the information
Oh,
about
we're
it.
playing freeform? Okay, we're on freeform now. Who needs
Oh my god, now please.
No freeform. I
We
have a
should
character
someday,
sheet
but
for
not
this.
for this shit.
No. Apparently all I have is musical instruments for my tool proficiencies. I don't have any.
You're gonna play a
Which is good
song
because on the sheet
describing
I
how.
don't-
However,
I just
I
put
will,
musical
'cause
1, 2, and 3.
I will go ahead and write a very descriptive prose of what he looks like.
a really lovely ballad about what this guy looks like.
Yeah.
You might inspire an artist to actually make it.
Yeah.
Hey.
Assuming that, I don't know, does Baldur's Gate have the equivalent of a forensic artist?
Apparently Mel, maybe? I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, have Mel do it.
magic is a pretty real thing, and this is a very large city. Odds are the minor illusion cantrip is probably used pretty heavily by what passes for law enforcement.
Probably.
Okay, so I'm just gonna sit down and write notes and basically write prose on what this person looks like. Much as remember.
And the glass did shatter in a most telltale
Oh yeah, it's
pattern.
flowery. Well, actually, no. He's kind of a history professor, so it is flowery, but it's also really
Dry.
dry.
It's very monotone.
It's very descriptive, but really dry and very precise about what.
It's kind of
He
droning.
might stop and
The mathematical formula for
is
the
it dark
fact,
green
the glass as it shattered with geometric lines passing through and
Oh
yeah,
my
no,
God.
it was his cloak purple or more of an aubergine?
I was gonna say, yeah, if your history, you'd be like making references. His nose was like that of Caesar's, and his chin was like so and so's.
Just long
We're like,
footnotes at the bottom of the page.
your citations.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. No, that's your homework assignment now for this week. You have to write a song with citations.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
what Louis doing.
But
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
Yeah. Davari is going up, checking on Decimus.
Okay.
Lolo is giving her a boost.
before going inside.
Don't know if you want me to roll for it because Davari is plus.
You know what? Go for it. With advantage because Lolo's helping.
All right.
And there's so there's like two of us talking.
I'm helpful.
Yeah. So athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics.
That's better.
Let's go.
Acrobatics if you can.
Ooh. I don't think I'll do better than that.
Like a badass.
So Decimus, you see Davari's face just like almost jump like foot up past the lip of the roof and then settle, and then she starts crawling up there.
Hey, I heard you needed some help, Decimus. Are you okay? What are
Does it
you
look
doing
like-
up here?
Does it look like I need help?
Does it? What do you look like right now?
I am not injured.
Oh, okay.
Well, you were.
They're messing with me again, aren't they, Decimus?
I was not.
I don't know what they tell you.
They said you were unconscious. You obviously are not.
He
Clearly
was
not.
unconscious. And now he's conscious. It is a state of being. It is transient, Davari.
You're not up here, Louis.
Oh, okay.
He can hear you from early.
Did you guys catch the stabby stab guy?
Well, I think we got one of them, but another one got away.
Hmm. Well, let's go get him.
I'm not entirely sure which direction they went.
They went north.
All right, if they went north, let's go north.
All right, you want me to carry you?
Yes.
I will grab her and start flying.
How much can you carry?
It doesn't say. It says I have a flight speed equal to my walking speed.
What's your
so,
strength?
Yeah. That.
oh well, not great. Like 13. That's above average.
No, that's fine. That means
Yeah,
you
how
can
much does
carry.
Davari weigh? Is she overweight?
She weighs about 150 pounds, and she's carrying about 94. So you need to
You
be
can carry her. You can't carry her shit.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll promptly land on the street.
Yeah, it turned into more of a glide.
Yeah, be like, there you go. Gave you a boost.
Awesome. Thank you. Safely landed. Ari honestly thinks that this was intentional, and she can start heading north.
Yeah, he was just helping you land
Yeah,
gently.
and he was so kind not to say that she's super heavy.
What a polite Nightwing.
Yeah. I'm no longer going to call him Flyboy. I'm going to call him Nightwing.
With the popped collar and that really deep V-neck. That's the important bit.
Oh, they're like the 80s.
Yes!
Is it
Yeah.
sparkly too? Is it like?
Yes. Oh, of course it is. It's got the sparkles and sometimes the little tassels underneath
I
because
realize that Decimus probably doesn't wear this every once.
No,
in a
he
while.
does.
Louis would definitely like sparkle. Although I don't have prestidigitation. Never
I do,
mind.
so if you just tell me, I'll do it.
Odd just randomly makes everyone sparkle randomly because Odd likes sparkles.
No, and so yeah, Louis is actually gonna shout out when he realizes that hey, they went north. I'm going to write my report, and we'll spend probably hours writing.
oh,
All right. I'll scout north. You got something on your face.
Louis gonna go find a mirror.
If you don't have one, I have one in my bag.
gonna
There's the
look at
broken
it
glass
and
in
be
the alley where you're at that would, you could kind of get a reflection off of, but these guys definitely were not affording a mirror.
Yeah, but we're in a house, right? They have to mirror some. Like,
These people were not well off.
Yeah, if they're that poor, they may not have
Not a
been
great
afforded.
neighborhood.
okay, I'm like, what do I have on my face?
I'll pull out a mirror and just go, I don't know, some kind of weird glyph.
Davari!
What does that symbolize for your people? It must mean something different than mine.
She's calling me a cocksucker. That's what she.
Oh, so it is the same. Interesting.
And
I
here's the-
didn't know that you'd announce it on your face like that, though.
It's an ancient rite. Davari has interesting views towards her deity. We'll say it that way.
I believe it.
Lathander loves all, but Lathander also likes to laugh.
Sense of humor is important. Just smear it in like a face mask.
Oh yeah, like he didn't really like clean it. He just
She actually
kinda,
makes it bigger.
Yeah,
She smudges it, but it actually makes it a little girthier, if you will.
actually, probably Louis would less smudge it and kind of look at it and like appraise it and actually like start like
How good is it?
fix it a little bit so that it was
He's
more
like
anatomically
getting the measurement, and then he goes down with his hand.
He's checking the details, the realism, carving it like a vein or something.
Yeah.
It was a quick job. I couldn't get the veins and stuff.
Ooh, veins, plural. It's throbbing.
At which
Oh,
point,
right.
on the footnote of his report, he says Davari then drew a dick on
Nope.
Strauss's face.
Strauss was vandalized in
Strauss
the one.
would give said picture a B-.
It would be classed as a C
For
me.
being slightly grotesque in proportion.
Technically, the night is yours. You could report in now, or you could wait until morning when you were told to report in by. So, if you guys want to take a rest, if you guys want to tidy up the crime scene, whatever you want to do is.
Week?
Well,
or you can go report now and
Louis
keep
not
going
gonna
now.
let anyone touch anything. He
Yeah,
is going to spend his time like legitimately writing down everything. That they
We could
did.
take turns sleeping. And just
And-
in the morning, then go see the guy.
Like,
That way we would know nothing will disturb the bodies while we're here.
Yeah, Louis, great with that. But he will actually spend the entire night like 2 minutes before the deadline, come in with his report, which is like going to be a like report of every like minute. And be like,
Oh my god. You're our sergeant at arms. You record the minutes of the meeting and all of the. Oh god.
oh yeah, and, like so he had the 25 gold book that I have for being a sage. He used it all.
pretty sure Decimus and Davari are trying to track this guy down to the north.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
you
you
guys-
guys are being productive.
Did you guys stay in the alley then, or did you go out to the road? Because the alley was very narrow houses that were like on top of each other.
So I'm gonna go ahead to the road
Okay.
and circle above there looking for my guy.
Mm-hmm.
You may roll a investigation check.
Yep, and I am on the ground doing the same, like underneath him.
Okay. Neither of you turn up any telltale signs or indications of where this guy went. Eventually, you end up into typical nighttime traffic. Refuse collectors, a couple rat catchers. You guys are the only crew that operates in this particular neighborhood.
not really. We probably just need to check in.
Strauss is ready to do just about anything. As I said, he is being super meticulous about this report. And I would say not only in like because he is a history professor and like it's important to him to be as like factually accurate as possible, but also he's kind of being ridiculous about it as kind of a giant fu. Like somebody's gonna have to read this shit.
And verify it.
Tavern sounds good to me. I mean, we've got several hours until we're supposed to meet this guy, or at least give him the information.
So we'll go to the nearest tavern
Okay.
and make sure he's not there.
Yep.
First.
At the bottom of every wine glass. You know.
You never know. Yeah, split the party. Episode 2, let's do this.
Yeah.
Who's getting kidnapped?
Terry, are you volunteering or do you have something to say?
Yes, to both.
Is Terry frozen?
No. There's a bit of a lag, but I can hear Terry. And he's moving.
I'm
Honestly, no
gonna
problem.
have to reconnect.
I'm sure nobody would notice I was gone.
Ooh, that is a severe lag.
Very bad lag.
Like your mute symbol came up and you were still talking.
Yeah, it's really weird. But we would still miss and notice you once we noticed you were gone, because I know you like to hide in the shadows. Mellow. But yeah, so I would want to check out the body of the guy I turned into a popsicle and broke, just in case anything interesting with or around him.
You may roll an investigation check.
Okay. Can I specifically look for anything to do with the cults? Never mind. I see all. Doesn't matter. I'm sure I see that shit if there's any anyway.
So let me recall something here.
Yes, give me the goody goods. Yeah, he said he was gonna try and refresh.
No, the one who had the mace that you shattered. That was the one you shattered, correctly?
Yes, it is. Because he hit me with that base.
Yes. The mace actually survived the shattering, and it does in fact have the symbol of his god on the handle.
Oh.
I know.
Is that shattering with a capital S? Like it's not. He survived the shattering, but survived the shattering.
It was pretty graphic because he was frozen solid, and then she was like, eh, and then just decided to go ahead and shatter him anyway.
He hit me, and that's rude.
That
so
is super rude.
Super rude.
It is.
I'll definitely, I guess, take the mace. I don't think I could use it, but I'll take it.
Okay.
And
Terry looks
the other one
less
who
laggy,
had the
it's still laggy.
who me?
No, Terry looks less laggy, but it's still a little laggy.
Gotcha. The one who fell off the roof that had been originally put to sleep and then beat up pretty good. He had a little bit more on him than the other ones did, or that's what's left of the other one that was shattered. He had a flail, which it was a like chain flail. It's like a star, but the business end was carved to look like a skull. And he has two books on his person. What's that?
Classy.
Classy, yes. He has two books on his person. Both of them look to be religious texts, but not written in Common or Infernal.
Okay. I take all of it. What religious symbol was on the mace? You said it was of his god. Does it say specifically, or just one of the three?
I'm actually doing this from memory because that's in the other game where I actually had recorded what was on each of them.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? I still have that game up.
I was gonna say I have it up too because that's where I recorded like my damage and stuff.
Just out of curiosity, are either of those books? Well, I mean, unless you reference Louis. Louis has a lot of languages. Is any of them while it's not infernal or common, is it possibly abyssal or celestial?
I would have brought them to you to ask, because
Yes.
you're the smart one with the reading skills.
So that's the one that is.
My character reads.
Your character reads books. Hey, sir.
All right. So to go back over this again, sorry, the one that was shattered. Really? Had nothing? Okay, yeah, just his mace. Gotcha. And that was the Baneite. So he has the symbol of Bane on the handle of his mace,
Okay.
which is a very nice looking mace.
I mean, I can't use it well, but I'll keep it.
Yeah. And then the other one, who had the two religious texts, he also had a pouch in which is a sketch of the. There are two sketches in there. One is of the person you found dead, the very first person you found at the top of the map. And Odd spoke to its spirit for a few brief seconds before it vanished, or at least Odd says that's what Odd did. And the other sketch is of the civilian that ran away when you were fighting the Baneite.
Okay.
And also in that pouch is 18 copper pieces.
Okay. I will for sure.
We got 18 cents from this map.
Yeah, right.
Well, technically, you each got 2 gold off of Captain Zodge as well, just for vetting the
Yeah.
intel, which is pretty good tender for one night in this very Gotham City-esque type place.
Yeah.
So, hey, Strauss,
Yes.
do you know this language? Either of these?
Is it abyssal or celestial?
It is in fact abyssal.
They're
yes,
both abyssal?
That is abyssal. It is a derivation of our infernal language, our mother tongue.
Cool. What's it about?
What's it about?
I cut off the lecture. Give me the cliff notes.
Oh, so it's like the cliff notes of abyssal. So it was for.
No, not abyssal. The books.
So,
Smartass.
Louis, you have now in your journal a summary of. It's basically an indoctrination book to the Cult of the Dead 3. And on quick summary, this is the gist of what you can grab from it.
The Cult of the Dead 3. That's the one. That's what I got.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So Dead 3. We they're talking about Bane, Baal, and Merkul. Bane, of course, is the Lord of Darkness. Baal is the Lord of Murder. Merkul is the Lord of Bones. I don't think I'm.
Yeah, the Cult of the Three is boring and wrong.
Originally, they were powerful adventurers who sought the path to godhood. Known first as the Dark Three. They found it in the form of. I'm going to go with a Y for this J because I don't know what language we're using. But we're going to go Yergel. Spelled Jergel. But so, like, depending upon what derivation of language, that could be Hergel, Jurgel, Yergel. We're gonna go with Yergel. Who acquiesced their demands as he was tiring of his life as a god of dead. He gave up his portfolios to the three. I'm now imagining him like, this is my portfolio. To the three of them, apotheosizing them, and I guess that would be the correct word for that. Apotheosizing them in the process. Bane ruled tyranny and strife. Baal became the god of murder, and Merkul the god of dead. They earned their name of the Dead Three when they all perished during the time of troubles. Bane and Form killed each other in 1358. DR, which I'm assuming this is around 1450. DR. Merkul was killed by the mortal mage Midnight. Baal was slain by the god of Cyric. Using the sword Godsbane itself and as a mask. Are we out of character? Are we treating the Baldur's Gate video games as canon here? Because I figured my character would know this. Baal
Okay, you know more than I do. Because I only ever played the first one ages ago.
Okay,
but
Baal got separated.
So.
You can't really kill a god when you do so. His power separates. Baal was created into a bunch of different avatars, and about 100 years ago, a hero arose that was actually Baal reincarnated. If you ever heard of the Minx and his miniature giant space hamster? He was part of their party. Slain though they were, their influences not entirely left the land, and occasionally cults arise in their names, some hoping to capitalize on their visages, others still hoping to bring their god back. Basically, they want to bring back dead evil gods.
Okay, so what else should I know?
Hey, it's a nice book though. Like,
Yeah,
usually this shit gets burned by the flaming fist or whatever the fuck they're called. This shit gets like destroyed. It might be worth something. I don't know. I'll keep it in my library.
Okay, if you want to hold on to them, you're more than welcome. Any sigils or symbols that I didn't recognize, I jotted down. But other than that, ooh, this is all cult-related info. But yeah, so I guess we're all just waiting until sunrise then, so we'll take a nap and heal.
Okay. We'll go back to his
as requests the injured one.
His ridiculous report.
Okay.
Gotcha. So where are you guys meeting up in the morning to go together to Captain Zodge, or are you meeting at the rally point where Captain Zodge said to meet him, or
that's whatever the alcoholics want, because they're the ones that ran off, so it's up to them. They come stumbling back.
I'm pretty sure we're meeting at the place that Captain Zodge said to meet.
That'd be a good idea.
Because I don't think we would have thought everyone else was going to be staying in the building with the dead bodies, so we would have ended up going back to our normal residences. And kind of like leaning back and going, where the fuck is everyone else? I mean...
babysitting.
Yeah.
Right. So, you guys work your way towards the Bacillus Gate, which is where Captain Zodge told you to meet him the next morning to be able to report. The Bacillus Gate is pretty much the most infamous gate on this side of the city, which is actually very near where you guys are from. If you're looking at the splash screen, that big gate in the foreground is the Bacillus Gate.
Ooh.
Let's see here. Is there a map in here?
Off in the
Yeah, but here is the official one now and not the one that I made. So I'm trying to find the cool map of the city. It's got to be somewhere.
It's hiding because
there we go. So if we bring that up, you guys are looking at the city landmarks handout now?
Yep.
Sure are.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Oh man, that's way harder to read than the one I had.
Yeah.
All right. Basically, it's on the east side of the city, and it's actually very close to where your neighborhood is, which was why I positioned your neighborhood where I positioned it. At the gate, who got paid? Me?
He's asking if you got what you paid for.
Yeah, because I actually paid for it instead of pirating and doing my own. It's lower quality. Imagine that. Anyway, Bacillus Gate. Captain Zodge and his 6 companions, who you guys encountered before, are presently dragging a handful of unconscious bodies and a few injured people who are not unconscious over to be corralled by a set of oncoming guards. They look tired as hell. Clearly, they just beat down a... wow. We're going to go with the word mob. It's not the word I wanted, but brain fart. Basically a riot of sorts here at the gate. Probably people trying to either leave or force their way through, which is not allowed in the current state of affairs. Captain Zodge sees you guys coming over, and he walks over. And who did we determine was in charge again? Out of character?
He said Decimus.
Decimus was?
Yeah, I have the picture of the living and dead people, though. So
he is under the impression Decimus is in charge because he respects strength.
Okay.
And he's a showman.
Okay. Gotcha. So, Captain Zodge walks up to Decimus, like basically completely ignoring everyone else. And he says, "What did you find?" And he looks tired.
Yeah, I look tired too, but mostly hungover. So.
Actually, possibly still drunk.
Strauss will actually walk up besides Decimus and sir, your report.
Yeah. Give him the report.
There's like some very barely concealed hint of contempt when the nerd steps up to him. He just kind of gruffly takes the report and starts looking at it. Go ahead, speak. And like he may be overreading, but he's probably not actually reading.
There were 3 of them. We killed 2. 1 got away. A couple of casualties.
So it's all in the report.
Yeah, that's the summary.
I'm sure that it is in the report, and when I'm not about to fall asleep, I'll file it and have somebody read it. The important thing is, what you're telling me is that there was an attempted murder. The information is good.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
information
right.
vetted.
And
Whoever
he like
the
goes like this because everybody was speaking.
Yeah. Information vetted. It's good. Your informant's awesome.
And he just kind of,
Your informant is lucky.
and he turns around and he walks over to like where all the unconscious bodies are. He nudges one of them, it doesn't move. Reaches down, pushes his vest back, kind of pats him down, pulls out a purse, like kind of weighs it in his hand, and he tosses it to Decimus. And he says, "For your expenses. Now, here comes the big part. My source claims to know where these things are, where they're based out of. You guys want to make some coin?
Yeah, of course we want to make some coin.
That's what I like to hear. That's good. Sorry, I just hit the wrong plus symbol. I needed to find something. Sorry.
Do it.
What?
I don't have the report.
You don't?
No, he's handed that off.
Oh, yeah. Damn it. Hey, Strauss, is there any chance you have a copy of that report?
Of course.
Where?
On a scale of 1 to you'll let me, can Odd and I start let's say a mental connection with Sir Captain Douchebag and start reading the report directly to his head at the same time?
Please do. I worked really hard on that.
We'll delay it a little bit too. Like one person will be just a little bit after the first person.
We're gonna wait until we're far enough away.
Oh my god, you're gonna drive him insane.
Thing is, that thing works for 10 minutes. It doesn't say the distance. You just have to be within 30 feet when you start it. It doesn't matter how far they go. So we could just keep on reading it. So we could start the connection now and then go to a quiet place and start reading it to his head.
I know.
This is how you get purges of tieflings.
I don't think
At which point, it'd be like, so, question is, are you trying to actually help, or are you trying to drive him insane? Because either way, I am fine with. He was extremely dismissive. I worked really hard on that report.
No, yes, it's just really rude. I think that he dismissed you like
Then
that.
if you want to...
Raj is walking back
please-
over right now, so you guys can keep talking or not, but he's coming back over right now.
We'll do
please
it
read
later.
This
I'll just-
part, and he actually flips open a specific page, and it's like the chemical analysis of everything that... Like,
Okay.
it's just a long string of, like, nonsense techno-babble.
Then I will take the report to that page, hold it under my arm, and just wait. And we'll do it later.
So when he gets to Decimus, who he's already tossed one pilfered coin pouch from, he reaches into his own robe here and pulls out 3 more coin pouches that are very disparate. They are clearly all not his, and none of them match. As you all would know,
Not
it's
bothered.
very common, the Fire Fist, if they put down a riot or they put down a criminal, anything on them is fair game. They also accept a lot of bribes. So these are probably either taken from the unconscious people or from bribes earlier or whatever, but either way, he's got these 3 disparate money pouches, and he holds them up to Decimus, and he says, and he kind of like literally just like pushes them onto his chest. He says, in advance, 200 gold each. You find out where these things are, and you make their cult done.
We're on it.
Okay. My contact can be found in the Elf Song Tavern.
In which
Elf Song.
A few
Elf
blocks
Song.
from here.
Yeah, pretty familiar with that.
She's there like every evening. She's a big gambler. She goes by the name Karina. I'm pretty sure it's not her real name. But she's been getting good intel, and now she's got it on them, and she owes me a favor. You find her, you find out what she knows, and if it's actionable, take care of it. For the love of God, don't piss her off. She has some seriously dangerous friends.
What is her name again?
She goes by Tarina. But
Torina?
also fairly, he said he's also pretty confident that that's not her real name. But like what she goes by.
Can I do any kind of chat to know if any of us have heard of this? Are you saying Tarina or Torina?
I might be. It's written Tarina. So
Okay, I was just trying to get a spelling.
Yeah.
go with that how you want. Tarina. I don't know.
Okay, is there any way I can do a history check on this, or is she kind of obscure?
Religious check.
You can roll.
Roll what?
You pop it out.
You know what, Decimus? Yes, I would like a written athletics check from you.
So I would like. I didn't have advantage, but I would like to say I just rolled a double nat 20.
So I am actually going to give you something on Tarina. Find it to make sure I'm not quoting it wrong.
I also have pulled up what of your quote unquote report I'm going to start reading as soon as I get the chance. The analytical techniques and instrumentation for when you're analyzing water and things at crime scenes.
Terry, what did you have? Because Terry was trying to get somebody's attention.
Yeah, I was waiting for Chester to finish. Basically, I was just going to try to do an insight on this guy.
Go for it.
Especially Chester said a bunch of different things about them taking bribes and other stuff. I'm trying to figure out if we're either doing a job to help people or we're doing a job because he wants it done.
Okay. Strauss. So while piracy is not your specialty, you are fairly confident that you at one point read about a pirate who used the name Tarina when she was between vessels or between captaincies. You're fairly confident that the articles that you read, which were quickly quashed and disappeared, and therefore likely to be given credence, that Tarina may actually be known as the infamous Rhonda Thunderbell. And she used to be, most recently, first mate on the Uncivil Serpent.
Are you saying the uncivil serpent?
Yes. Yeah. However, these were like newspaper articles, and like literally the papers kind of vanished the day that article was published.
Yeah, that tells me that those were very good. Those were very good and now very dead reporters. I will mention this to probably Davari. I'll open. Actually, I'll be like, I might know something about this, and I'll whisper it to any of our party that's next to me, but I'm not going to say it in front of the captain because this guy's an asshole.
Yeah, fuck him.
Okay, Milo. The captain. So everything you've heard about his reputation, despite being a typical Fire Fist captain, is that he's a pretty on the up and up guy. While he does accept bribes, that's the way the law works, and he's actually tends to be more merciful and just than the average captain. He does look freaking tired. Given the state of the city right now with all of the migrants from El Tirel and the lockdown that's in place, you believe that he's probably legitimately asking for your help, but since they don't ask and they deputize, that's how it's coming across. Like, yeah. And Lolo, who rolled much higher, you're pretty sure that not only are you deputized, but that what he just asked Decimus to do and all of you to do and offered you payment is not in any way an option.
Yeah.
This is not a guy who takes his questions being ordered or his laws being broken lightly.
Okay.
Yes. Decimus, you failed actually to catch the 3 money pouches that were pushed into your chest, and they actually fell to the ground.
I'll swoop down to help pick. Oh,
Yeah.
emotion. Shit. Nope.
Yeah, could Davari attempt to pick him up or catch him before they fall or something?
No, I laugh when you drop them.
I mean, you can try to do a dexterity check and try and catch them. Miss Klutzy.
Yeah, this'll be great.
She's probably a little wasted too.
Yeah, probably. -1. I headbutt him.
Nope. You actually fell and hit your face on his knee, but you think you headbutt him.
Yes.
Not mean, but I do laugh. Not in a mean way, but I laugh.
Milo actually starts picking up the pouches.
Louis will actually go ahead and just kind of turn back and like, and that's what happens when you draw dicks on people's faces.
You know what? Next time I'm gonna make it prettier.
And his best like elementary school like patronizing teacher voice. Probably.
Did you want more hair involved? I mean, I was working with soot. I could have done more hair.
It wasn't anatomically correct. You would have gotten a B- and you know it.
So Captain Zodge just kind of shakes his head and looks at Desmi and says, "Don't fuck this up, for the love of the gods." And like he turns around and starts barking orders at his men that are off going and barking at the guys who are oncoming ships.
Completely unrelated to anything you're doing, but do you happen to know of a ship by the name of the Uncivil Serpent is in port?
I don't know. Ask a dockmaster.
All right, crew. Let's go.
I deliberately don't respond and wait a while. The orders thing just isn't gonna fucking fly. Also, now I'm debating.
Out of character,
I boss.
the way the module is written is way more railroady than I have just railroaded you. And the consequences are ridiculous.
I was gonna say, yeah, you're normally not like this. Yeah, you leave these.
Like the railroad in the beginning of this is basically like he just offers you this job. That whole interlude of me trying to make a personal for your neighborhood was me, because he basically just says, "You guys, you're deputized and you're doing this," and then if you don't do it, what he sends after the party, that's like TPK territory. Like it's ridiculous.
That's because they want you to really get involved in what's happening, so that then you can go to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still switching level 1.
So where your neighborhood is in the very upper right of the low city. So you can get down to it, but it's not your neighborhood at all. It's also out Captain Zodge's jurisdiction. That's why he had nothing to give you there.
So as soon as we're out of earshot,
Scott, talk to your mic.
sorry. As soon as we're out of earshot of the Flaming Fist, so I might have remembered a certain article I was reading. You know. Davari, you know my subscription to pretty much every newspaper in town.
Yep, even the pervy ones.
Even the pervy ones. They have some of the best articles. So there is a woman, a second in command, a woman by the name of Rhonda Thunderbell, who goes by the name that and me as Scott has forgotten what the name is at this point. Tarina. She is connected to that name. The articles kind of disappeared relatively quick, which tells me that they are accurate. And but she is the XO of a ship called the Uncivil Serpent, and I think it might behoove us to get some intelligence on such ship. Do any of us have any connection to the docks?
Nope, but what I'm hearing you say is that that some ship needs some light of Lathander on it to bring them all back into the morning.
That or a visitation by a certain proselytizing. I'm sorry for the term, Lolo. I know it's slightly offensive, but cult.
There's a difference between cult. Whoa, the echoes and everything are fucking me up.
There's a difference between cult and what?
Sorry. Yeah. No, just never mind. I actually completely lost that train of thought because I all of a sudden got a wave of echoes and noise and static in like two different people's voices. I had an actual psychotic break. Don't mind me. Just continue. It's fine. I am Lolo.
Gentle pet on the head. Gentle pet on the head.
All right, boss. What do you think? Who's coming to Decimus on this?
Good timing. Hey, Decimus. Yay or nay? Yay or nay?
Yeah, I'm not really the boss. I think you know that. But I know someone who works down by the dock. So,
No, pretty sure we've all decided you're the boss because at least the captain talks to you.
yeah, that's called the face.
That's fair. I can be the face.
And if you want me to be the face, I understand.
What with this glorious 80s outfit?
Yes, I'll pop my collar.
A disco ball descends from the heavens inexplicably. I meant though what I whispered to you, because this would be really good timing for it.
Oh yeah, I was typing a response, but go for it.
Is it a yes?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we have Odd and Lolo have shifted target, and it is no longer going to be whispered at Sir Firefist Douchebag. Now it's Decimus. So we're going to start reading the report to him, because if he's the face and leader, it's really important that he understands what happened, what's going on. So yeah. Just for funsies. Yeah, all the voices. It's actually perfect. Oh man, I was gonna say if the echo had stayed on.
Okay.
I actually just asked Travis if he could mute when he's not talking, because
Okay.
they're definitely coming across his screen.
Yes.
So like, when he's about to talk, that's how you got drowned out last time and you got distracted, because he was going to speak and then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've actually gotten to the point that I'm muting Travis when I.
Until his mouth moves, you're muted.
So that's why I keep on missing like the first few words of what Travis is saying.
Was what I said even intelligible, or should I go again?
No, it was.
Okay.
It hurts my ears when the echo is really bad.
Do you want me to actually start reading, Chester, or should we just say that it happens?
If you want to have something that you're reading, go for it. If you just want to make stuff up and do it, it's up to you.
I was gonna say, or if Chris wants to actually read it with me, since this
No.
was okay. For the record, this was all actually his idea. I just got excited about it, so we're doing it now. I won't actually read anything because it'll just be.
So Decimus is the only person that knows you're doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So to Decimus, you just start hearing in Strauss's very specific style of writing, I'm sure, that nice, dry, academic nonsense that just the details you were saying of the chemicals and everything forensically that was there.
So I'm going to just let you know right there, Lolo and Odd.
Yes.
Given the natural 20 he just rolled on his insight, I'm
Can we at least try?
if you guys can beat that with a deception roll, which I will allow you to do, he's going to know that you guys are doing this.
That's fine.
Oh, he already knows. I'm pretty sure if we've been around each other long enough, he knows that we could talk to people like that.
You know.
But I'd roll deception anyway to see if you get away with it, because I don't. Not this way.
Ugh.
Yeah, give me a deception check. Let's see if he can tell it's both of you, or if he just thinks it's one of you that learned how to do two voices all of a
Just like,
sudden.
he thinks it's me, and now he knows.
That's the
Oh,
exact same
we're
roll.
You were
twinsy.
able to identify that both of you are smirking or looking way too serious. One of the
Yeah.
two.
Smirking.
happening. And Decimus knows that you guys are messing with him.
So Decimus will give them a dirty look and roll his eyes, but he won't say anything.
Okay. Well, since he acknowledged it, it's not. But I get my point.
It's like you're the boss.
So you guys are headed down to look for Decimus's contact down at the dockmaster's office.
Yeah, let's go to the dock first.
Talk into the mic, Scott.
That's what Louis wants to do, and so he will follow Decimus to his contact.
Okay. Is everybody going?
Yep.
Okay. So the party works their way down. So if you have the big splash screen up, which is much prettier than the map, and I'll get a better map loaded for the next session we play in 3 weeks. You guys, basically, the center of that circle is where your neighborhood is.
I just have the standard background right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't move you guys over. I'm sorry. No, yeah. That's what I want you to have. So this, if you spin out, you can see the entire, like, this is Boulder Gate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a little circle thing. Your neighborhood is about up in here.
Okay.
I'm not seeing it. Sorry.
You're gonna have to zoom out, Becca.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay, that's way too far. Now it looks like a little tiny.
There you go. Yeah, see, someone
Got it. Okay.
Here.
bringing it now. Yep, around in there is the neighborhood that you guys live in, that you've affectionately started calling Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, lots of rings. You guys are talented.
Pinging it.
That's so funny.
So the dockmaster's office that Decimus has a friend working in, nice. It would have been better if it was a Nightwing symbol. I'm just saying.
Yeah, why don't you have the Nightwing symbol? Fail.
Okay, I'll make another one.
Fail, nerd.
So the dockmaster office that Decimus knows of is way down here on the far left, and for some reason I'm not right. There we go. And it probably takes you a good hour or two to get down there. It's still early in the morning, so foot traffic isn't too heavy. No random encounters on the way. Decimus, you find your way up to where your contact actually has a day job. He is currently copying ledgers, like transcribing one ledger to another of dock manifests of boats that are currently in those particular ports over there that they have jurisdiction in.
Can't breathe.
Hey, Gary.
We'll go with Gary.
Yeah, just kind of barge in. Hey, Gary.
Gary looks at you, his eyes kind of go wide. He's like, dude. Sorry, not dude. Hey. And like he like leaps up from his desk and like runs over to the door and like ushers you, and then he sees everyone else and says, get in here, and like gets everyone inside and then shuts the door and locks it, unlocks it, opens it up, turns the 10-minute break sign around and shuts the door again and locks it. He says, this is my place of work. You can't be here right now.
Wow, that wasn't suspicious at all.
And you're certainly forcing us to be here now, by pulling us in and locking the door.
Better than standing in the doorway, whoever you are.
Are you embarrassed by tieflings? Do you have a problem with?
Do you need to get some things off your chest? Would you like to confess? I mean, I am actually in a position where it's going to be totally private and never.
Is anybody actually wearing a badge?
Oh, definitely not.
Oh,
I am.
Louis will like flare his
now
cloak to
Gary's
show
very-
the badge.
Gary like notes the presence of at least 3 badges. I was like, Decimus, you sold out, and like he's like freaking out right now, starting to like back into the wall because he didn't realize where he was. Like looking around for.
All right, so
looking.
Jafari will actually grab his face in the most awkward way possible.
In the most calming way possible.
It's like, it's okay. He was forced to accept the position. He is still Decimus. And then I will release his face.
Yeah, relax. We're working an angle here. We just got a quick question for you.
And he's just kind of like, darting his look around because he's calmer, but it's still a lot of badges in his office.
Professor, tell him what we want.
I'm assuming Decimus means me. We were looking for a specific ship. Perhaps you have its a bill of lading or so. It is called the Uncivil Serpent. I guess they're trying to be punny. I'm not
and
sure.
Again, Saucer eyes get infinitely wider. He's like, "You're chasing pirates through the fire fists? Are you serious, Decimus?"
Yeah, just tell him what he wants.
I don't think I said the word pirates. I gave you the name of a ship. You're just gonna tell me where what slip you rented to it. No one has to know that you talked to us. However, if say I don't know you didn't let us know, and then I started talking about how Gary was just blabbing about this weird pirate ship called the Uncivil Serpent. Man, I don't know how that would work. And you got to ask talk to my friends. I have a very loose tongue.
He just like actually threw himself across the room when you implied that you were going to frame him, and socks you in the jaw.
Louis, you deserve that.
Laughs.
Even Lathander would not be okay with that amount of manipulation.
I'll whisper into the guy's head. He'll do it too. He loves to talk.
Gary is now like holding his head. Decimus, what are you doing to me? And like he like squirrels his way through the crowd to get to his desk.
Can I take a second?
That really hurt. Like, why did you?
Down?
I just got punched in the chin. Ow! I just got over my knee hurting, and now you punched a guy with glasses. Really, really.
Well, your knee doesn't hurt anymore, does it, Mr. Frame Job?
Nice
It's not a frame job.
Are you raising your hand because you'd like to speak, Shayna, or are you doing like the power of voice compels you? I don't know.
I want to speak and I can't yell professor anymore because now there's a professor. So sad. Can I try and tell everyone to calm the fuck down and do like a persuasion? Just everybody to chill the fuck out for a minute. Mainly Gary, but also everyone else.
Sure.
Okay.
Does Gary need like a big cuddle?
Much better, Travis. Much better.
Is there any way I could get my intimidate check or my persuasion check for what I was actually trying to do with Gary?
Sure. Yeah, throw it down. He just got really upset when you talked about framing him and punched you. He can still be intimidated.
Apparently, I'm not particularly intimidating when I have a glass jaw.
So either way, he's trying to calm down a little. He has his desk between himself and all of you now, so he's got a little bit of a comfort barrier.
That's fine. I'll just lean a hip on the desk.
Kind of like his hands are like flat on the desk. He's just like, seriously, you guys are going after a pirate ship when you use names like that.
Hey, that would be foolish of us. Here's 10 gold. Now tell us what you know.
And the eyebrows just kind of like arch up because you're speaking his language now. And he like leans over. He says, "Where?" Did you actually give him like a coin purse or 10 gold?
Neatly.
Okay. And he turns around, opens up a cabinet drawer, pulls out one of those like green, like military green books that we all know and love.
Yeah.
Opens it up, the steno pads inside. Basically, he's like flipping through, scrolls down. He says, "Uncivil Serpent. Looks like they're doing this morning."
That's convenient.
Claps the book shut, puts it away, and he says, Gary told you nothing. You were never here. And when you leave, you're going out the back.
Gary,
Gary?
who? Come on,
Who's
guys.
Gary?
Yeah, Gary who?
He's Gary. He's speaking in third person, guys. And I say this out loud. It's third person. You know how like Lolo sometimes talks about Lolo? Gary's just talking about Gary. I get you, Gary. I get you.
I've never met a Gary. I don't. Is that even really a name? It sounds made up to me.
Yeah, I made it up.
However, Gary, if you ever do want to like alleviate yourself of the weight weighing on your shoulders,
As he's putting the coins one at a time into the Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would love to alleviate some of your weight on my shoulders. He says very inappropriately.
Okay, at that point, Louis is going to actually stop, look at him, and like, that wasn't even a good innuendo.
I know, right? Give it like a 3 out of 10, maybe.
Yeah, like,
Is there like a back door or is there a window?
Y'all, are you still here?
Is there like a back door or a window?
Yeah. There's a trap door in the back.
But no, I'm just asking by looking around, is there a window?
No.
No.
Basically, you don't see the back door he's referencing until he shows you.
aw, trapdoor.
It's his bolt hole. And as he opens it up, he says, my suggestion would be to not breathe through your nose.
I think it would be weirder. Or like, let's see, let everybody go. Just leave.
Louis is going to look at him and be like, I'm going to go with Lolo on this. Like, there was obviously 6 tieflings walked into this building.
Yeah, it'd be weirder if all of a sudden that no one ever came out.
Yeah.
I think if just a small group of us at least left through the front, it would be a little more sensical because you could be like, oh, well, you just missed it. They came all at once and then left separate. Like, don't worry about it.
So
We're
you're
just
breaking the terms of the deal is what I'm hearing.
I don't remember saying anything about a deal, but I just want to leave out the front and not whatever smell.
I don't mind
you're-
going through the bolt hole. I'm just saying from a logical perspective, there's 6 of us.
Might be a little suspicious if we don't leave.
Oh, you're leaving?
No,
Through the
no.
back door.
I'm pretty sure someone saw us.
Yeah, and we'll have fewer people see you if you don't go the same way again.
Is he watching the
let's
door?
just go, guys.
It's what Louis will close his nose and be like, you do know that, like, never mind. And he just start leaving.
Yeah, Decimus is leaving.
Like, through the bolt hole? So, basically, it just drops down into the water underneath the building because it was built out over the water. And it smells like rotten fish down there.
Okay, the moment that I realize that I'm about to get dunked into the water, I'm going to go ahead and cast Ray of Frost right under my feet to, like, freeze the ground.
I'll allow it.
I will help.
I'm not going.
Then we'll need some reflex dexterity checks to make sure you don't fall on your ass on the ice.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
I
Check
think
or save?
Lolo and Davari are still turning around and walking out through the front door.
That's why I was
And I
like
have-
wondering if there was a window. I was just going to go out the back window. Just
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't.
So once
So if
once
it was
that-
just a check, that's actually a 19, not a 21. But
Basically, if you beat a 10, since you're making the ice, I was just going to allow a
Okay.
10 to be enough.
well, if Davari and I are the last ones out, I have that nice little bag of 18 copper that he doesn't need to know we're 18 copper. That I'm going to say, I will give you this if you just let us leave through the front door. And I just gesture to Davari and I, since everyone else has already gone through the bolt hole.
He kind of like looks you up and down. He's like, I guess you're hot enough I can make a story out of that. And he like swipes the coins.
All right, and then we just book it. Davari and I are out the front.
And then afterwards, I just keep on whispering to him mundane things for the next 10 minutes.
You know, you really should fix that squeaky.
Going like this. Get out of my head!
Actually,
To fix
it's,
that squeaky
I'm on the
floorboard.
bottom, and this guy, and I probably overheard that comment, which again upsets me for A, being weird and rude, and B, also like not being particularly creative. Like he's not like he's creepy, so he's gonna look at these stilts and he's gonna be like, huh. And he's all he's gonna do is he's gonna take out his hand axe and make like 2 chops just to weaken the structure just a little bit on the stilt, and then he's gonna leave.
Oh man, I wish I had seen it because I would have loved it. I'm giving examples of mundane things that Odd might be whispering to him. Nothing threatening. Nothing
You know what?
threatening.
You guys
There's
have been
something on your face.
You guys have been working together for like a year, so I'm gonna say these are things that in your tutelage of Odd, given your relationship and your backstory, I'm gonna say that Odd knows that these are things that you would like have advised trying or doing, whether he uses them or not.
I would say I would to leisure Odd like to kind of know that because Odd would have seen me chop at it, so Odd probably also knows like, is there a wobble?
Throw a wobble.
There's something weird. Is the floor a little crooked? Was
Do
that
you feel that?
it?
Gary slams the bolt hold door shut.
And if I hear the shut like slam, I'm like, oh, don't slam.
Don't slam, it might break. If it breaks, the whole floor will fall. What will you do then?
Is there someone knocking on the front door?
I think there is. Did you leave that stove on? Did you spill that gas? What's that smell?
Yes.
Thank you for letting me play crazy people. I appreciate it, and it makes me happy.
Yay!
Okay, so you guys know the boat's due in this morning. You know about where they're supposed to tie up.
What time in the morning is it? I'm sorry.
It was probably around 6 a.m. when you met Captain Zaj. I said 2 hours, give or take, to actually get down to the water side, so probably like 8 a.m.
So are we expecting the boat in this early, or do we have some time?
They just said that they were due in this morning, like on today's date, whatever that happens to be, because I didn't look into calendars and how those things work. But yeah,
I'm gonna find the nearest bait shop, buy like a cheap fishing pole, and then go to the like no leather armor, no armor whatsoever, no weapons, just like sit on the pier, look like my old man self, like as creaky as possible, and fish off of the pier they're supposed to pull on too.
cool. Is anyone else gonna do anything while he's waiting for the boatman?
What's in that area? Like, what's foot traffic like?
It's basically dockside. So you've got pictures, you've got people bringing cargo down to a weight being loaded onto boats,
Okay.
cargo being taken off of boats that are there. Lots of cargo swaps moving around in every which direction. Boats coming out.
Odd and I can do what we did last night then and patrol by way of pretending to look for people to join the cult. And if we find anyone, that's cool. New members are new members.
Sure.
Who wants to go look at
by the
the?
way, when I say these things, it's obviously with the implication that you'll let me know if we know this would be a bad area to do it. Like if we get in some kind of trouble, we wouldn't do it there. But
Boulder's
Sure.
Gate is very religiously tolerant in that pretty much any religion that doesn't, kill and murder people on the regular is tolerated.
okay.
You'll have your interreligious stigma between each one, like, oh yeah, your god's a dick, well your goddess is a slut, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But by and large, the city doesn't persecute religion. So
Okay.
I love how it's like they don't kill and murder people on the regular. Killing and murdering people is fine as long as it's,
Yeah. You just
when it
need it.
becomes an epidemic that people don't feel safe anymore, that's where civil unrest says, okay, time to put that religion down.
Right.
Which is
So
where the Dead
we'll
3
walk around with our flyers, and just talk to people and see who's interested in breaking free of the cycle. You know.
So I'm going to actually throw something out there that you guys could possibly like bounce off of. Because it's that early in the morning, it's the perfect time for a Lathander ceremony type thing. And I think that's what Davari's going to do, is welcoming people to
Proselytizing.
enjoy the morning light and let Lathander's light shine on them type thing. Lolo and Odd, it might be the perfect time for you guys to actually pass your pamphlets out.
Undermining her religion.
No, it's not undermining. Davari and I have had this conversation. It's not undermining. We're almost working together on this, and then whoever goes with whatever is, you know, their prerogative.
It's free enterprise and free competition. It is a Baldur's Gate tradition.
Friendly, and it's friendly.
It is very friendly. It's actually welcoming. In fact, Lolo and Davari might actually be standing right next to each other.
Pretty much, Terry.
I make them both sparkle.
Yay!
The entire time Louis is just like tuning all about. Is actually probably like at first he's fishing for the sake of maintaining like the old fisherman on the pier thing, and then he starts like actually like kind of getting into fishing and starts like hushing people as they walk by. Like, you scare away the fish.
When he does that, I will actually. Oh, damn it. Well, until he does that, rather, I will use my thaumaturgy to make Davari's voice as she's proselytizing a little bit louder. But as soon as he says shush, I cut it. I'm like, I whisper, sorry, Straps. in his head. I don't want to blow his cover. In his head. Sorry. How are the fish, though? What kind of fish have you caught yet? Anything?
Oh, we might all need to reconnect.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and reconnect, and I'm going to go be right back.
Sure.
We lost Travis. Oh, I got him back.
Yep, I got Travis.
I got Travis.
So now I have Travis and not Terry.
But he's just rebooted, or just started reconnecting.
Okay. Do you have all of us, Trev?
Damn it. I was going to say I would like.
Sorry, except Terry.
Yeah, I don't have Terry either. I think he's still connecting. And you're still a little echoey, but it doesn't seem as bad.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Terry gone. Terry
there
come.
he is. There he go.
Terry gone. Terry come back.
There you go. Terry go.
Terry come back.
Oh, if my insane play gets to be a little too distracting, let me know. You know I can tone it down. For the record.
With it, honestly, everything we're doing right now is off the cuff because I thought you guys were gonna like basically transition to the end next. So we made it Gary on the spot. Everything that happened with Gary was totally off the cuff.
You should know our party by now.
I do, and that's why I improv Gary. Like we have no details other than that his name was Gary. We didn't do anything else, but I'm going to make him an NPC now because it's very possible, as there is a scene later on at the docks, Gary might be useful again or counterproductive because of how things played out. You never know.
That's why I'm planning mine. I like have character names and locations, and that's the fuck it. I have it in my
needing a performance check from Davari when she gets back, and persuasion checks from Lolo and Odd.
I can start that.
Trying to recruit people, in which case deception checks.
It's not deception. I mean, my score is the same either way.
I give you the benefit of the doubt with persuasion, but if your recruitment tactic involves lies, then roll deception. That's all
It doesn't, because I wouldn't want someone in my cult that doesn't actually have their own betterment and freedom in mind. Oh, what up? I should start a real cult.
Yep. After I get Davari's performance check, I will give you results on how this plays out for you.
Okay.
And Terry's like, damn it. The religious one.
It's just never been a possibility with one of my characters before, and now that it is, I am going to lean into it hard.
Yeah, but if Terry starts recruiting for his god, things are not going to go well.
That's because Terry picks mean gods that aren't fun.
Yes.
I wouldn't say that.
I would. I just did. Oopsie-toi.
The tea tastes weird.
Okay, Davari, I need a performance check from you, please, for your proselytizing or preaching or whatever the word is going to be. So her performance is actually so bad that she's rendering disadvantage on Odd and Angela's attempts to recruit. However, Odd manages to get one recruit, which Odd, you may detail up said commoner before next session if you would like, as
Right.
your new recruit into the cult.
Boo!
Sorry.
You get one,
Yeah,
or I got one.
Yeah.
You got.
it's a
you did
pyramid scheme. So technically, because Odd got one, you got one.
Oh, that's fair. That's true.
That's how you wrote your cult, right?
Yes. I mean, yeah, actually. As people start to kind of like start avoiding our little situation, I'll
She's
go over to Davari and elbow her and be like, "This may be time to turn it down. It's kind of
thinking she's like
off today."
too overzealous for the fishmongers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
I
I'm
don't-
going with that role is that Davari is just too excited
Too
to actually be doing
One
what
of
they're
them-
doing.
No,
Actually threw a fish at you.
I feel like. So I'm gonna say I feel like Davari was in there and she started going into like Salvation Army type like proselytizing and the sins of drink and gambling
Oh
and
no, not those, because she actually is really into that stuff.
Thou shalt requite.
like,
I think maybe,
like just the wrong crowd.
yeah, I think maybe because we're at the fish market, she is proselytizing against halibut.
So those three are doing their thing. Strauss is fishing.
Can I get a roll? I don't know what it would be. What is the roll for fishing? But I want to know how good.
Deception.
I mean, you're
But
not.
you're not decepting, so you're persuading that you're doing it.
You're
now.
not.
Oh, no! Not that somebody is ignoring me. I want to make a roll for how well I'm fishing.
I'm just saying 1d20 because you're not proficient in fishing.
Okay.
Milo, what are you doing during this time period?
Well, basically, I was going after the thrown fish, and then I was trying to figure out what we're actually doing. So pretty much, I'm following everybody, trying to ask questions, but I don't think anyone hears the character.
Davari would hear you, and unfortunately for you, if she hears you, she'd actually kind of like take you underneath her arm and almost like reaching her hand up and basically talking to you, but it's all about the dangers of halibut and how you need to be really careful.
What did I miss? I come back to the
Well,
theaters and-
there's that, and if she came up to Strauss, Strauss would then start talking about the perfect cast, and would
to
pull
just talk at each other.
would try to teach Milo the goof troop perfect cast.
Yep.
Fine.
So,
Good reference. Good reference.
so we're gonna go with that. Milo, you you get told about the dangers of halibut and possible food poisoning, and then you get taught the perfect cast of fishing.
And Decimus, what are you up to during this time?
Decimus will be bored, standing there with his arms crossed, watching the shenanigans.
He's just scowling.
Yep.
Fair enough. Okay, so around, we'll say 11-ish, the only vessel to pull onto the dock that you've been watching all day finally does pull up, and it starts tying off lines. Crew members are bustling about. A gentleman does go ahead. He steps across the brow, the first one to come across that's not bustling, working on lines and such. Let's see here if I can find the description. I think this is the description here. Oh, why would you? Okay. Yeah, so he's a human male. He has a cataract clouded right eye. He definitely smells disgusting, like someone who doesn't bathe ever, not on the regular. Like,
Oh, I
this
remember
guy
that smell.
is like he doesn't believe in sea showers or any showers of any kind, and his breath it smells like the rotted fish that some of you were recently acquainted with underneath the docks. And he is walking with steady purpose, as though he's going to check in with the dockmasters, most likely.
I don't want to say anything to him, but I want to link to mind.
I want to so I want to bring out some type of bottle that I randomly have, but just out of my cloak and kind of stumble and be like, by the way, with a 14, did I catch anything?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna have the fish over my shoulder, and just stumble to me. Oh, I've been fishing all day. This is caught. You guys came in and he completely ruined my cast. Can you do me a favor and give an old guy a good drink? And I'm gonna put my arms around him, and I'm gonna put myself between me and the space between the boat and the water, and then I'm gonna just be like, you're a pretty one, and I'm gonna cast distant whispers right into his ears, so he has to run directly into the water.
Wait, to the guy that just. Not what I personally would have recommended as the strategy for this.
No, it's gonna be a great distraction if he fails his wisdom save.
Oh,
Just for the record, this is what the guy looks like if you're doing this to.
I'm just. How far off the rails are we about to fucking get? On a scale of 1 to should we just end the game?
This
What
could
do
be sideways pretty quick. We'll find out.
I think it should be on a scale
you need
of
what, a
1 to
wisdom?
sun puppies.
Wisdom save, please.
Yes, on a scale of 1 to some puppies from now on. That's how we determine how
It's a
fucked
verbal.
up
Yeah.
he is. He's actually a werewolf.
Okay, so it looks like he fails that save, huh?
Yeah. So he falls in the water, right? Because he runs in the water, right?
Because he has to run as far away from you as possible, correct?
Right.
Doesn't say what direction he has to go.
He's just gonna run further ashore.
Well,
So you
I
were
would have pushed
pretty-
and positioned myself so he'd have to run into the water. That's what I was getting at.
Oh, you want to block him off?
Yeah.
And he does what? 3d6 damage to him too.
Mhm.
So he could, in theory, I mean, you're one person. You can't block every direction, right?
He can't run closer to me because he is frightened.
Right,
so
but he could run back up to his ship.
Yeah,
he
he
could
could run
further-
back up to his ship.
Which is probably more likely what he would do. He is not a simple, stupid person.
His safe space is the ship.
Okay.
I'm actually, kind of impressed that he failed that save.
Does he have a security blanket? He runs back ashore, grabs Blanky.
So
Fine.
8 damage, and then I'm going to be my reaction to be like, "Where are you going, buddy?" and try to do a shove. Just shove him into the water then, as he runs away from me.
Oh man.
Which I'm actually horrible at, because
Our professor's weird, guys. I'm just putting that out there.
He's gonna get us into so much shit.
He's gonna
that's
put
a
his
natural.
shoulder
That's a
out.
1.
He's gonna put his shoulder out.
So you just tried to push him and ended up tripping yourself and going in the water as he.
No, if that happens, then I will stumble into the water, and then I'll start screaming, "Man overboard!"
Yeah, you are definitely man overboard between the dock and the boat right now, and he is still running up the gangplank back onto his ship because you attacked him.
Who wants to pretend that that's their crazy grandpa?
He is yelling. He is up there yelling for men to get their arms. We're under attack.
I'm under
Does
the
he
water.
realize what happened to him?
No, he was just assaulted.
He just heard crazy whispers and an old man pushed him. That's all that happened to him. He's like,
I think maybe we should just start screaming out, "Grandpa, what are you doing?"
that's what I'm saying. Someone
Grandpa
claimed
overboard. Just
it. Yeah. Someone go claim their crazy grandpa.
He is like, "I can't swim," and he's gonna pretend like he's floundering in the water.
is there
That did
like
not
rope
go
nearby?
the way I was trying to get it to go.
Can I get some persuasion checks here from everyone who's trying to sell this as
All right.
whatever it's not?
21.
You are just the crazy old man. You spent too long.
You are doing a great job convincing them that you are now drowning.
11.
You were just a crazy old man who spent a little too much time in the sun today, Grandpa. You should have worn your hat. You know how you get when it's too hot.
There is also because I would have dropped my fish too when doing this, so there is like a floppy fish just while I'm
All right, I'm taking charge of this mess.
So the captain
Also-
and his men who are now manning the rails kind of see this going on and just uproarious laughter and like people like turn and start going back and forth. Swords are getting like resheathed, and the captain, his one eye just kind of like confused because
I looked.
where he was being attacked, but this is not processing as an attack any longer.
I'll look directly at him and be like, I'm addressing him. Sorry, Grandpa just gets like this sometimes. I knew we shouldn't have left him out here. Hold on, and I'll ask Odd or Davari, could one of you get him?
Yeah, I'm working on getting him.
He's senile.
Yeah.
He goes ahead and starts walking back down the gangplank.
I forgot to make sure he wears his hat. He didn't have water. See, he's got nothing. I mean, he'll be real upset about his fish.
Get him away from my boat.
I will, sir. I'm sorry.
Are you mocking?
Nice to meet you. My name's Lolo.
Okay. And he looks at your hand and like he grabs it, and it's probably the most sandpapery, rough, disgusting hand you've ever touched in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a guy who has been working lines and not moisturizing or bathing his entire life.
Yeah, so when I let go of his hand, I don't let it then touch my clothing. I hold it just a little off my body to wash off later. Not in a way to be rude, but just I'm not letting that infection get all the rest of my stuff. Whatever nasty rot he's got going on. So yeah, just establishing that, and then I have my find connection to him now for later.
Kind of like tips his hat because he's clearly starting to take a fancy to you. He says, "Name's Lek. I'll be at the Elf Song Tavern tonight if you're looking to get a good time without your grandpa."
Am I? Have I been pulled out of the? Have I been pulled out of the drink yet?
Do I overhear this coming?
Only if one of your companions did, because the crew doesn't give two shits, and the captain's on his way to check in with the dockmaster now.
Yeah, Davari was working on getting Strauss out.
Honestly, Strauss could swim. That's not a problem. It's just like Strauss was trying to sell a bit, so because it failed. So
I'll give him a flirty smile, but not say anything. And just keep in mind, what did he say? What in El Sol?
Elf song.
El Song?
Elf
I'm hearing Spanish. Is this in English?
song. Like,
Oh, thank you. I thought you said El Sol. Like,
and this is the same. This coincidentally is the same one that Captain Zaj told you to be at tonight.
oh, convenient. The one good in. All right, got it. So yeah, flirty smile, then I'll go try and help Grandpa. Is he? Would we know, Strauss, that you can actually swim, and so we all know that we're just playing?
Strauss
Okay.
is like
Yeah.
in the many things that Strauss does for the orphanage, he's also probably the swim team coach.
Oh my God, yes.
So lifeguard.
Yeah. So as you get out of the water, I'll be like, what was that?
I was trying to I miscalculated some trajectories. I was trying to get him to run off
of the pier.
Right, but why?
because then the entire ship would have to go into man overboard and try to pull him out of the drink. And then we could go talk to the XO. My entire point was to create a distraction.
Well, we have an opportunity for another distraction later tonight if we need it. But for now, let's not terrorize anyone else until we absolutely need to.
Come on, Grandpa.
Coming from the lady who has terrorized our compatriot and wanted to be...
Hey, you don't know that. Only Decimus knows that. Although I have probably done it before. So
yeah, you've probably done it to Strauss before.
I'm sure you've done it to all the people.
Yeah, probably.
Lolo's really just supposedly kind of chastising you to make it look like she's doing that. Like, Grandpa, you can't do this anymore.
Strauss like,
oh, you're right.
I'm so sorry. You take such good care of Grandpa, and then under his breath, you got him. That was pretty funny.
That was really fucking hilarious. Let's pick up your fish and get out of here.
Like some of the guys up on deck that are, going about the mooring evolutions are still chuckling about it. You even hear a couple impersonations.
He's gonna grab his fish and then he's going to proceed. He's gonna find a fish monger. I have no idea how to clean this.
Fishmonger kind of like takes this fish off of you, and it's like this big. He says, "You dip it back in the ocean where you found it, or the river, whatever," and he just throws it over into the water.
Oh, that was Gramps' fish. That was really rude to Gramps.
It's clean. It wasn't yet full grown. What?
Oh, well, thank you for sharing. I didn't know that.
Land
All right. As he walks away, flip him off behind his back.
Where's
All right.
Davari at? She's usually like, oh god, she didn't start her like halibut is evil thing again, did she?
I
I
just
don't
shaking
know.
my head. Yes, got him.
I don't know that they ever stopped.
No, I got you out of the water, helped Lolo with you, but as soon as you picked up your stupid halibut again, I'm just like trailing behind you, and I am like giving the fishmonger like the thumbs up when he throws the fish back.
It's Strauss will determine like,
Did you get any new converts? Actually, did any of you?
I didn't. He did. He did great.
let me guess, your sermon was not keyed to the crowd again.
No, apparently there's a lot of people that love halibut in this area. They don't understand the Morning Lord's light. They don't understand or want his blessing. They just want the halibut. Her sermons really don't make any sense right now because
Pick that up. She's also a little sun hit.
yeah. Each scale is a sin.
Decimus still overlooking us with like complete disdain.
Probably.
He has this look quite frequently around us.
Where'd Milo go? I taught her the perfect cast.
I'm still here.
Okay.
So
what's
what's
next?
the plan? Because my plan went to shit. So
Well, I'll tell them that he kind of offered like a date, so we'll know where he'll be tonight. We can use that information how we will.
where?
At Elf Song, which I'm going to be very particular about pronouncing, so don't fuck it up again. Yeah, so I can go and cause a distraction.
I've heard
him
it's
and
also
then-
called the Elf Soul, like the sun, but
Elf Song, right? Elf Song, like
yeah,
an
it
elf
is
that-
Elf Song. I was
Stop
make-
fucking with me. Leave me alone. I'm hearing two different languages right now. Rude. It's fucking me up, and I'm not good at Spanish. All right, Elf Song. That what? Stop it. Stop it.
I probably know some of the performers there.
Start cussing y'all out. I swear to God.
But that's also where you were told to find the informant tonight,
Convenient.
conveniently.
So we know that we can either, since your goal was to get to the XO,
Well,
what exactly are we trying to do here? I'm just real quick, since there's a disconnect somewhere, what is the goal?
as far
right
as
now?
I'm aware, we're trying to stop a cult. Not your cult,
Yeah, I know.
a murder
No,
cult. Your cult. I'm not. What exactly is your cult's beliefs? Like, I know I've attended some of your things, but it's kind of disjointed.
It's not disjointed. I have it written up. What I've written up is disjointed, but I'll post it here or something when it's done. The stop it with the Spanish motherfuckers. Okay, so you'll actually, Scott, you'll get this. It's kind of based on samsara, and so it's the cycle,
Okay.
I was just wondering, but with murder and sex, because that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a cult, so it has to have some of those
There
things.
has to be murder and sex in it. That's okay, but still.
Okay. This is murder and death cults. I'm trying to stop one. Actually, again, I feel like maybe if we can find their headquarters, you might be able to get a lot of new initiates because
Probably.
your cult is probably way more
Fun.
than their cult is.
Yeah. So,
But
If
same
we're trying to-
demographic of like practitioners.
well, if we're trying to stop it, though, we're trying to find. This is out of character. We're trying to find the location of it through the XO, or why are we specifically after the XO?
I don't know because we got sent to the EXO.
Oh, just okay.
So let's go to the inn and
Oh,
check out this lady we're looking for, the contact,
Yeah.
and get lunch. I'm hungry.
So she's not supposed to be there until late tonight. FYI. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Terry.
So if you go, you're going early.
Okay.
Lunch.
Louis is fine going early. He would like to look at the. I'm assuming with the name Elf Song Tavern, there's live music.
So it's actually a pretty famous tavern, especially you would know about it where you're from. Also, it is haunted by a dead elven ghost who sporadically, not on any kind of schedule whatsoever, sings a beautiful elvish ballad about her lost love.
I like it.
So there is occasionally like live entertainment as well, but it's very the place is well known for its haunting because of this beautiful song that this elven ghost sings whenever she gets a whim apparently, and it's always the same song.
Okay. I have to look at what musical instruments I chose. Give me a second. Because
Well, on the character sheet I transcribed, it was instrument 1, instrument 2, and instrument 3.
I Teach is bad at you. Teach is being picky.
Yeah, teacher. Uh-huh. Okay, so it's lyre, lute, and bagpipes. FYI.
Okay.
So, you said it's an elven voice. Is it a female ghost or a male ghost? Female ghost?
Female.
Okay, so bagpipes isn't gonna work.
If there's a spirit there, I will just go talk to her.
Okay, Louis is going to try to get an idea of what this song is and, like, tune his lyre, because the lyre is going to be the best accompaniment in case the ghost shows up.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Oh, hello. Oh, hello, friends.
But he's also going to, if it happens to be a live music day or any time that anyone is supposed to be, like, performing, he's going to try to ingratiate himself with the band.
Gotcha. So, quick question for you guys. We've hit the 2-hour mark and Terry had to go. Do you guys want to keep playing since we're going to have 2 weeks off, or do you want to...
I'm good to continue to play, but...
I'm good to continue playing.
I have to go.
I have to go also.
Well, then I think that we'll go ahead and wrap then, because that'll take us down to 3 of 6, and that's not very fair to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.